Welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint podcast. We take your research and turn it into something you can actually use. Today we're looking at ModernCoinMart, a company that well, you might be considering them for gold and precious metal investments, maybe even for your IRA. We've got a ton of analysis and reviews straight from Gold IRA Blueprint. So let's jump in.
Choosing a gold IRA company is a big deal for your retirement savings, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. You really want to make sure you're working with someone reputable and trustworthy, which is why I'm really excited about the checklist Gold IRA Blueprint put together. It's got all the questions you need to ask yourself.
It's a fantastic resource. And speaking of resources, let's get back to Modern CoinMart. Some of our listeners might not know them, so can you give us a quick rundown of who they are?
From what I understand, they've been around for a while. They were established in 2004, and they're based in Florida. They specialize in numismatics, basically. That means they're experts in coins and precious metals.
And they've got a pretty impressive range of products. We're talking gold, silver, platinum, palladium, rare coins, modern releases, bars, rounds, you name it, they probably have it. It's like a treasure trove for anyone who's into precious metals.
It really does seem that way. And it's interesting that they work with both collectors and investors. You don't always see that.
That's a great point. It means they have something for everyone, whether you just love numismatics and want to build a collection, or you're mainly focused on diversifying your portfolio with precious metals for retirement.
Speaking of portfolios, that brings us to the big question, reputation. What's the word on the street about Modern CoinMart? Can people actually trust them with their savings?
That's where Gold IRA Blueprint's expertise really comes in. They've gone through tons of customer reviews, and what they found is overwhelmingly positive. People love their customer service, like
Good.
quick responses, helpful representatives, things like that. They also really like the wide variety of products. Like we said, that works for both new people and experienced collectors.
That's great to hear. But I also always want to know what the problems are. I mean, no company's perfect. So what are some of the things potential investors should be aware of?
Well, yeah, no company's perfect. Some reviewers did mention that sometimes shipping is delayed, which can be frustrating if you're really excited to get your metals. And there were a few times where the product wasn't in the condition they expected.
Oh, that's always disappointing. It sounds like customer service is mostly good, but were there any complaints about that?
There were a few complaints that they weren't responsive enough, but that doesn't seem to be the usual experience. Most reviews say the support team is helpful and efficient.
Good to know. But you know how it is with online reviews. Can't always believe them. Is there anything else we can look at to see if they're trustworthy?
Absolutely. Modern CoinMart's been in the industry for a long time, which is always a good sign. They've been around for more than 2 decades. And in that time, they've built a pretty solid reputation.
That definitely means something. But we can't ignore this. There have been some allegations of scams. How does that fit into all of this? Should people be worried?
We have to address those concerns. Transparency is key. And Gold IRA Blueprint really stresses doing your research. You should definitely look into those allegations and see how the company responded.
So it's not just about trusting a company because they've been around for a while.
Right. It's about doing your homework and looking at the evidence before making a decision. And if you need help with that, remember, Gold IRA Blueprint has a free checklist at goldirblueprint.com/exclusive. It's a great way to figure out which Gold IRA company is right for you.
That's a good point. I can already see how useful that checklist is.
Yeah.
But let's change gears for a minute. What makes Modern CoinMart different from everyone else? What's special about them? What's their secret sauce?
Well, I think what's really interesting is how many rare and limited edition coins they have. It's like a dream for collectors. This is huge if you love numismatics.
So it's not just about the investment then. It's about owning something rare and historical.
Exactly. And even beyond the rarity, they really focus on authenticity and quality. And that's so important with numismatics.
So it's like a guarantee that what you're buying is the real thing, not
Yeah.
some fake.
Yes. And to make things even better, they have a really user-friendly platform and a team of knowledgeable numismatists who can walk you through the process.
Okay, so they've got a wide selection, they focus on authenticity, and they have expert support. But let's look at the other side of the coin. What are some potential downsides, things to watch out for?
One risk that comes with any precious metal investment is that prices change all the time. That's just the nature of the market.
So even if Modern CoinMart is doing everything right, there's still a chance that what I invested could lose value.
That's true. You have to understand that risk before you start. Another thing to think about is that their selection is huge, but it might not be as big as some other companies. especially for certain really specific products.
So it's always a good idea to do your research and compare before making a decision.
You got it. And speaking of comparing, let's talk about some alternatives to modern CoinMart. There are other good companies out there.
Yeah, let's expand our options.
Yeah.
What are some other big names in gold IRAs that our listeners should know about?
Some of the top ones are APMX, JM Bullion, and GovMinute. Each of them has their pros and cons, just like modern CoinMart.
Can you tell us a little more about those? What makes them different from each other?
Sure. APMX is known for having a ton of products, great customer service, and secure packaging. They really care about protecting your investment during shipping.
That makes me feel better, especially when you're dealing with something so valuable. How about JM Bullion? What are they known for?
JM Bullion's prices are really competitive, and they have a wide variety of precious metals. They're great if you want to get the most for your money.
And last but not least, government. What's special about them?
Oh, Government is a collector's dream. They have this massive collection of rare and collectible coins. Some of them are truly historical pieces. If you're a numismatist, you'll spend hours browsing their website.
Wow, that's quite a list. It seems like there's a company out there for everyone, so how do you even begin to choose?
That's where the research and due diligence we talked about come in. You need to carefully look at each company based on what you need and what's important to you.
And don't forget that free checklist from Gold IRA Blueprint at golderablueprint.com/exclusive. It's like having your own guide in the world of gold IRAs.
For sure. It's a great resource that can save you time, money, and headaches down the line.
Perfect. Now, I know our listeners probably want to hear more about the specific products Modern CoinMart offers, especially the ones that are eligible for a gold IRA.
That's a great transition to the next part of our deep dive. We're going to take a closer look at their products, their pricing structure, and what makes them stand out from the competition in that area. Welcome back to the deep dive. Before we go on, I wanted to remind everyone that if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all this talk about gold IRAs and precious metals, you don't have to be. That's what Gold IRA Blueprint is for.
Right, there's such a great resource. They give you the expertise and unbiased guidance you need to make good decisions about your retirement, like whether a gold IRA is even right for you.
And of course, they have that free checklist at golderablueprint.com/exclusive. It's got all these great tips and questions to ask as you go through this process.
Yeah, it's a great thing to have. Okay, now, where were we? Oh, yeah. We were about to look more closely at Modern CoinMart's products, especially the ones that are good for your gold IRA.
Right. Like we said, they have a huge selection of precious metals. But when it comes to IRAs, you have to follow certain rules.
So it's not just about picking any gold coin or bar that looks nice.
No, not really. The IRS has these fineness requirements. That means the metal has to be a certain purity. There are only certain coins and bars that can go in a gold IRA.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do you know which products are IRA approved when you're on Modern CoinMart's website?
Well, the good thing is Modern CoinMart makes it pretty easy. They have a section on their website that lists all the IRA eligible products. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
Oh, that's nice. I like when things are easy, especially when it comes to something as important as my retirement. But what about the prices of these IRA-approved metals? How do their prices compare to other dealers?
Pricing. That can be a little tricky, right?
Yeah, especially with precious metals. It's not like buying a stock where you see one price.
Yeah.
The numbers just keep changing.
Exactly. Precious metal prices go up and down all the time because it's a global market. There are so many things that affect it, like supply and demand, the economy, even things happening around the world.
So how can you even compare prices if they're always changing? It's like trying to hit a moving target.
That's where doing your research really helps. You want to compare prices from different dealers, Modern CoinMart too, just to get an idea of what things are worth. And remember, don't just go with the first price you see. Look around and make sure you're getting a fair deal.
That's really good advice. It's easy to get excited and jump in, especially if you're new to investing in precious metals. And that makes me think about how helpful Gold IRA Blueprint is. They provide all this updated market information to help people make good choices.
They really do a lot for their readers. And their free checklist at golderablueprint.com/exclusive has some great advice on comparing prices and not overpaying.
Okay, so we've got the products, the pricing, and the resources. But there's one more thing we haven't talked about, and I think it's super important when you're trusting a company with your retirement money.
I think I know what you're talking about. Customer service.
Exactly. Why is it so important, especially with something as complicated as a gold IRA?
It comes down to trust and feeling secure. You're basically giving this company a big part of your financial future, so you need to know they'll be there to help you every step of the way.
It's more than just getting a good price on gold or silver. It's about having someone you can rely on, someone who will answer your questions and deal with your concerns and guide you through the process.
That's it. And that's why all those positive customer reviews we talked about are so important. People keep saying that Modern CoinMart is responsive and helpful and that they really go the extra mile.
So it sounds like they have a good reputation for customer service. That's definitely a plus. But let's be real. No company is perfect. Are there any downsides or challenges that people should know about?
Well, we already talked about how precious metal prices can go up and down. That's just the market. But specifically with Modern CoinMart, some people have said that their orders sometimes arrive late.
So if I need my gold or silver quickly, that could be a problem.
Maybe. They usually ship things out quickly, but like any company, sometimes there are delays.
Yeah, that makes sense. Any other potential problems you can think of?
Their selection is really big, and it works for most investors and collectors. But some people who collect very specific things have said that Modern CoinMart doesn't have as much as some other companies. But for most people who want to add precious metals to their IRA, Modern CoinMart has plenty to choose from.
Okay, so we've talked about the good and the bad. The pricing, the products, the customer service. It seems like Modern CoinMart is a good choice for a gold IRA company.
They are. But like we've said throughout this deep dive, it's your decision. Do your research, compare different options, and choose the company that's the best fit for you and what you want to achieve with your investments.
And if you're feeling lost or confused, don't forget about Gold IRA Blueprint. They have the resources, the knowledge, and that amazing free checklist at goldarablueprint.com for free exclusive to guide you.
Absolutely. They're a great resource for anyone who wants to learn about gold IRAs and feel good about their choices.
Okay, I think we've really explored Modern CoinMart. Now let's talk about the bigger picture of gold IRAs themselves. What do you think?
Sounds good. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll look at the benefits and risks of gold IRAs, and we'll talk about how they fit into your overall plan for retirement.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent some time getting to know Modern CoinMart, a company that stood out to you as a possible option for investing in gold and precious metals. And we talked about some important things to think about when choosing a gold IRA custodian.
Yeah, and we saw that they've got a lot to offer, like a big selection and great customer service. But it's really important to understand gold IRAs in general, too.
You're right. So let's step back and look at the big picture.
Yeah.
For those of us who are still trying to figure this out, why do gold IRAs even exist? What's so great about them? Especially for people who are retiring.
Well, one interesting thing is that historically, gold has been seen as a safe haven asset, especially when the economy's uncertain.
So like when the stock market is going crazy, gold tends to hold its value or even go up.
That's the basic idea. Of course, nothing is completely safe, but gold has a history of doing well even when things are bad. And for people who are retiring and want to protect their money, that can be really appealing.
Okay, I get that. But sometimes I have trouble understanding gold as an investment. It just seems like, well, shiny metal. How does that actually work for retirement income?
Well, that's where the IRA part comes in. A gold IRA is kind of like a regular IRA, but instead of having stocks and bonds in it, you have actual gold or other precious metals that the IRS approves.
So it's like my retirement funds are actually buying gold bars that are stored somewhere safe.
Exactly. You're not buying and selling the gold yourself. It's all handled within the IRA, and a custodian manages the storage and all the transactions.
That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
But just like anything else, there must be some downsides, right? What are some risks of a gold IRA that people should know about?
Well, like we said before, the prices of precious metals can change. While gold is usually safe, it's not totally separate from the market.
So even though gold is known for being stable, there's still a chance that my gold IRA could lose value.
It could happen. And another thing to consider is that gold doesn't make money the same way stocks do with dividends. It's more about protecting what you have than making it grow quickly.
So would you say that gold IRAs are more about protecting yourself from inflation and diversifying your retirement portfolio instead of being the main way to grow your money?
That's a great way to put it. It's all about finding the right mix of assets that works for you and how much risk you're comfortable with.
This is all really helpful. It seems like there's no one perfect answer when it comes to planning for retirement. It's about understanding what your choices are thinking about the pros and cons and making smart decisions based on your goals.
Definitely. And that's why something like Gold IRA Blueprint can be so useful. They give you educational resources, expert advice, and that awesome free checklist at goldirablueprint.com for its exclusive to help you navigate all of this.
Speaking of navigating, are there any common misunderstandings about gold IRAs that you've seen? What are some things that people often get wrong?
One of the biggest ones is that it's a way to get rich quickly. People hear gold and they think they'll become millionaires overnight. But gold IRAs are a long-term strategy. It's about protecting your money and doing well even when the economy is bad. It's not about getting rich fast.
So it's not a magic solution, but it's a good tool to have in your retirement plan.
Exactly. Another thing people get wrong is that it's too complicated and hard to manage. While there are some rules, a good company like ModernCoinMart, with their experience and support, can make it pretty easy.
That's good to hear. I think we've covered a lot today, from learning about modern CoinMart to understanding what gold IRAs are all about. As we finish up this deep dive, what's the most important thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
The most important thing is to be informed. When you have information and you do your research, you can make good decisions about your finances. Whether you choose ModernCoinMart or another gold IRA company, or just learn more about precious metals, you have the power to make your retirement what you want it to be.
I love that. That's what we've tried to do here at the Deep Dive. Give you the insights and knowledge to understand complicated topics and feel confident in your decisions. So as you keep working towards a secure and happy retirement, remember that resources like Gold IRA Blueprint are here to help you every step of the way.
And don't forget about that free checklist at golderablueprint.com/exclusive. It has a lot of great tips and questions to ask as you explore your options and make these big decisions about your financial future.
That's right. It's a great tool that can help you make sense of everything. We hope this deep dive has been helpful and empowering. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, happy investing.